guys, it's me again. Made it past the hardest days, and now I am making it into day 13. Video log for my Whole30 experience. I am now I'm at the cusp. Tomorrow is day 15, so it is like at that halfway point almost. So some surprises for me. I'm very bloated a lot, and I'm like, what is this supposed to be normal? But apparently it is. It is normal. Your jeans do get a little bit tighter. But that's all for the greater good. I don't know if you could hear that, but that's my washing machine. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah. So, micro goals, what I was doing was drinking more water. That's a success. This is actually, it would have been more, I don't know, of a selling point if it was actually full, but I'm actually drinking it, so that's just what it is. So, coffee talk with me about Whole30. So I'm still getting a lot of questions like, what is it? What are you even doing? I've never heard of this Whole30 thing. And I'm like, okay, well, you're living under a rock. No, I'm just kidding. So Whole30 is an elimination diet. When it has the word diet in it, I don't really like that word because then someone thinks that, oh, it's just a diet, right? But really, an elimination diet is a type of technique in which that you eliminate all of those, like, all of the extras, and you just kind of live on those bare essentials. So the bare essentials for this kind of point is like, you know, just vegetables and lean protein. You want to cut out as much processed stuff as possible, and like, you know, essentially just get back to that bare bones caveman like diet that you were once doing, like way 1,000 years ago. Oh, look at that scientific term. That's not even right. But I digress. So you get back to this, and your body does its body reset, and that's the whole point. So you reset your body into all that, and then you can slowly start incorporating food back. So that means that at day 30, I'm not going to be going, heck yeah, that chocolate cake, and then mowing into a chocolate cake, and then eating a hamburger, and being like, oh, I did so good. That means at day 31, I evaluate on what I'm going to eat next, and I'm not quite sure what I want to eat next. So, let's say it's rice. I'm really debating it might be rice, but if it's rice, then I get a cup of rice, and I like day 31, and I'll eat it, and then I can't eat rice for 2 days, and I just continue eating what I'm normally eating right now, and see how my body reacts to it. Do I get bloated? Do I feel nauseous? Do I have a headache? Do I have some sort of issues in the bathroom? Do I not even like the taste of it because I've been programmed to taste rice because I've been eating rice my whole life? Like those kind of things. So, I'll do that and then just kind of like progress into if I like it or not. If I like it, I keep it. And that's if I want to keep it. And let's say I do. I think I'll probably want to keep rice. But let's say I keep rice and then I go, okay, and so 2 days down the road, so like at day where am I at? So like day 33, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to try to eat like something with sugar in it. So I'm going to put sugar in my coffee, which would never happen, guys. But I will put sugar in my coffee and see how I do with that. And I'll drink the sugar. Don't have sugar for 2 days, see how that goes. And that's basically the gist of it. And so what is the whole point of Whole30 is my next big one. The point is, like, for someone like me, very early in my age, I got my gallbladder removed. I got it removed, and I was foolish, and I just continued eating what I was eating, and I ballooned up. So I lost a whole bunch of weight beforehand, and that had to do with stress. That had to do with a really bad diet choice that I was making. I did it to myself, honestly. And like, but I did make some really great decisions in that period. I did do a bunch of things that like, that I should continue doing. But I made a lot of poor choices at that time too. I digress. Going into it, afterwards, I drastically lost a whole bunch of weight, and I'm like, heck yeah, this is awesome, and went down to the smallest I've ever been, which was a size 6, and then thus, like, I started ballooning out again, and got to my biggest size, which is size 16, so I went up 10 sizes. So you can imagine the toll that that did to my body. Not only my body, my self-esteem. So in doing so, I've now battled with, I got down, got down a few sizes, but I've never been really the same. So why am I doing it? I'm doing it because I want to figure out what's exactly I can and cannot eat, which I should have done years ago, but I didn't. So better late than never. That's kind of my life motto because it always appeals to my life because I'm always late. But yeah, so it's better late than never. So here I am doing that. Now moving onwards to what I normally eat. So let's get a run through of what I've eaten so far. I have eaten a lot of eggs. Actually, like, as I said, my partner and I are both dieting. He's doing something different, but on the same level and tone, we're both eating very healthy. I cannot imagine cannot even fathom that I would have ever have spent in 15 days, went through 4 dozen eggs, but we went through 4 dozen eggs. Crazy amount of eggs. Like, I can't even believe that. However, I've been reading articles saying that you should eat at least 2 eggs a day, which, I'm thankfully not sick of them yet. However, things that I put in my mouth even today, I made a potato and carrot kind of hash brown thing like a while ago. So it was like a casserole, and it was just like haphazardly thrown into a roasting pan and thrown into just kind of like a heat and serve thing. I put it in my mouth today and I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. I'm at that point. So I need to find more leafy green vegetables to replace all that kind of stuff, because you don't want to eat too much protein and not enough vegetables. Your rule of thumb is that you need to fill your plate with half vegetables and then half your protein. So half vegetable, half protein. So you gotta do that. Yeah, so what else? I had some, as much as you're trying to avoid processed stuff, I had some deli meat, and I would get it cut thicker, and then I cut that deli meat, and I would have those pieces, let's say with my breakfast or something in the morning with vegetables. These vegetables are usually broccoli is my fave, asparagus is my fave. I shouldn't eat as many green beans as I do, but I eat green beans, and it is Whole30 compliant. If you're looking for a list, my best resource that I can say is I used Pinterest. I checked the Whole30 website, and it's supposed to be on there, and the pins are from Whole30 website, but I just could not find it. But you could easily find a whole list of Whole30 compliant foods. So that's what you need to look for. Whole30, one word, so whole and then 30, and then compliant food list. And you can find all kinds of foods that you can eat, and then you get that whole list of what you can't eat. It's my friend, it's Becky, or practically Becky. She does low FODMAP because she's been diagnosed with her own issues. And hers is much more strict than mine is. So I get to eat garlic, and I love garlic. And and like she can't eat garlic or onions because like she's supposed to avoid it. So it's a super like really hard diet. However, she gets to have gluten-free bread, and I get to sit here pouting over her gluten-free bread. So she can be like, oh, at least you get to spice your your chicken, and I could be all like, oh, but you get to eat it in a sandwich. So everybody has their own battles, I guess. So how do I feel? Well, to run you all through like a day by day, it's like day 1, I'm like, heck yeah, I can do this. Like, you could do this. It's going to be hard, but you can. Day 2 and day 3, I kind of felt like sick. Almost like that feeling you get just before you get a cold. That's what I felt. Day 4, day 5, and day 6 and day 7, I wanted to hibernate. I wanted to sleep all the time, and that's all I wanted to do was sleep and eat. The amount of food I was eating was a lot, because inside my head I was like, you're hungry, you're hungry, you're hungry. My body itself was feeling full to capacity, so that was really rough. Day 7, day 8, day 7 and day 8, oh my goodness, my temper was like through the roof. Day 9, I felt tranquility. I got okay with that. I had various dreams of food. Just last night, I had a dream about making muffins and eating muffins, legitimately eating muffins and making muffins. In my kitchen, from my childhood kitchen, I was making muffins for my father, and I was eating muffins, and okay. That's what I was dreaming about. Woke up and I'm like, damn, I want a muffin. But do I? Like, I don't know. So, and then day 10 and 11, they're called the hardest days. And that's because they're called the hardest days because you get to this point that you're like, you almost feel completion. And you're like, oh, I did so well. And this is the point in time that you have to force yourself to keep going. Because it's like that runner's wall. You hit it and you're like, oh, it's finished. The race is done. But the race isn't done. The race is halfway there. So right there, everything in your body wants to go to a halt. Like I said this morning, I put stuff in my mouth and I was like, I don't want to eat it. That's, your body starts doing that. So you have to cope with that. Oh, hey. I see you. You're wondering who I'm talking to, huh? Oh, okay. So you come on by. Can I sit here? Okay. So that was Gomez. So it kind of tastes like, almost like ash in your mouth, and that's kind of crappy. But that goes away, hopefully. I've noticed for me personally, I'm a few days behind in that whole chart thing. So my hangover days on day 1 or like 2 and 3 were more like 2, 3, and 4 or something like that. I seem to be delayed. So right now, I still feel like everything I put in my body, I'm just like, gross. So that goes, I am told, and I'm hoping to God it goes away. Now, what do I have to look forward to now that I put myself through all this torture, right? Isn't there a payoff? The payoff is something that they coined the term, which is called tiger's blood. So this means that I'm going to get that humongous boost of energy, and my body is starting that reset. So I'll get energy, I'll finally get to eat normal, I'll get to sleep normal, and so here's hoping. And I'll tell you if it does, and I'll tell you if it doesn't. Do I still sleep in a crazy amount of time? Yeah, so I'm still I woke up early, I forced myself up early, that's one of my new macro goals, which I'll get into, but, so things like, it's 9 hours, 9.5 or 10 hours, and I'm still tired, and I'm like, what's going on? This isn't life, this isn't a day. So I'm still working with that and still working on that. So a little micro goal is I'm going to start waking up earlier. By earlier, I mean I usually have to go to bed at 11:30, so I want to try waking up for 7. I want to get that kind of thing. So that way, if my work, which it sometimes does, will be like, here, have a day off, and then the next day they'll be like, see you at 6:30 in the morning, right? Like, and you've been accustomed to going to bed at like 12 o'clock at night and waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or whatnot, right? And then you have to get up and you have to haul yourself up, and then you feel kind of laggy for the first, like, it's not a good time. But I want to get into that whole schedule. The second thing that I've been doing that I've been super excited about is I've been pouring myself more into my journal. And my journal is more like a bullet journal planner kind of thing. And I maybe one day will show you what I've been doing on that. Right now I'm just kind of doing that. I got this really great journal from like just a dollar store, which who knew, like, and I rewarded myself for my halfway point by buying myself some twinkle lights for my room, because my inner preteen is all happy about that. My inner teenager or inner 20-year-old, I guess. She's all about that twinkle light, and so I bought it, and my partner put it up for me yesterday, and he came, he put it all around my room for me, because he loves me and he's great. So that's my little shindig on what's going on with me, what I've been eating. As I said, I'm completely basic. If you feel really dumbfounded by this diet, like, this looks so complicated, remember that it's really not. It's just cutting out a whole bunch of foods and then figuring out what you can do with what is left. There it is in a nutshell. Figure out what you could do with what is left. There's books to read on it, of course. There's the founder of Whole30 has written a couple of books. There's cookbooks everywhere. Like I said, resources all over the internet. This is Pinterest, YouTube. There's lots of YouTube channels, including myself. That does that kind of stuff. I've been posting up some recipes that I've been doing. So I just recently did butternut squash, which I'm kind of like, with, because I put so much garlic in it. Now I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat it at work, because then I'll be talking to people and I'll be afraid that they can smell garlic on my breath. So it's definitely a pre-work snack instead. And the smoothies get me through a bunch of stuff, just because it's like extra vegetables that I believe that I need. So there's your 20-minute few days catch up kind of thing, my vlog on Whole30. Now I'm gonna go get ready for work. Alright, so get ready for work. I'm going to try to warm up a bit. It snowed a lot these past few days, which I'm okay with. A lot of people hate it, but I love snow. So, we will see you guys later, and I hope that you guys stick around. If you have any comments, throw them down there. If you have any questions, I want to answer them, so as best as I can, because guess what? This is just an amateur's take on Whole30.